I'm Paul Page on YouTube, and this is GP Laps.
Oh, Paul Page. That guy's been sitting here for 6 months waiting for me, but I appreciate that, Paul. Welcome back, Indycar Racing 2. Round number 10 of our season takes us to only the second super speedway of the year, the second and last super speedway of the year. Michigan, the Michigan 500. If everybody's doing well out there, Thanksgiving Eve in the United States. I think my favorite holiday. So I'm happy to be here, and this should be fun. Hopefully fun. It's been a while. I had to remind myself where we were at with everything during the season. But this is one I need to do well in if we have any shot of honestly holding on to second at this point. This would really help. Doing well here would really help for second place in the championship. And I don't know. We'll have to see how it all works out. I'm invisible. I shouldn't be invisible. I should be here. But welcome back to IndyCar Racing 2. If you've not been here before for IndyCar 2, this is a sim from 1995 that simulated IndyCar at the time, the final season before the split. And we've modded it out for the 1990 season. I did the 1989 season prior to this. And this one, it's taken over a year for me to do it. But we're on round 10 now. Full realistic season. It is quite difficult. I would argue that in a lot of ways this game is more difficult than some modern sims, just because of how imprecise it is. But it's been a lot of fun to do. The races in this play out so realistically, and I don't know. It's always cool to see what happens to all the AI, not only yourself during the race. And if somehow I can make it to the end, then hopefully do quite well. But we'll continue our season at Michigan now. And I was looking over the past few rounds, so I got that win in Portland. It was the last time our driver Ryan Axelson won. And if you remember that race, it was back quite a ways, but I had a contact with Michael Andretti, who's been our primary championship contender up to this point. I had some contact with him on the first or second lap of the race, I gotta remember, but took him out of the race and allowed me to not really cruise on to victory. These are never cruising races, but was able to come away ahead of Danny Sullivan with that one. Cleveland looked like it was gonna be the same, but I had a DNF there in the late stages leading. I made it through 71 laps. I was leading at the time, and I ran into, I think it was Hiro Matsushita, right? I guess he finished right behind me because he had an accident. We had an accident, one of those where in real life it would definitely be his fault, but because the AI do certain things in this game and you've got to kind of race while avoiding them, it's kind of on me, that one. So DNF'd there. Then we went to the Meadowlands, which I thought was going to be the worst race just because of how tricky that track is, man. But I came away with fourth in this one. I think we got some damage at one point, had to pit, and weren't able to get a lap back. But finishing that one is a pretty good achievement, I would say. And then last time, Toronto. It's another race that I could have won, and we actually had a restart in it. Or a restart of the whole race, but ended up having some accidents along the way and somehow muscled the car home with some damage in the final closing laps. It was actually quite a dramatic finish, but came away with a fifth place, and it was a bummer because Michael, who's the championship leader, didn't finish very well. I think he got a DNF, if we remember correctly. Yeah, all the way back in 22nd with an engine failure. So we're gonna have to hope for more of that today. If we've got any shot at it. We'll take a look at the championship points. It's Michael Andretti at 114 points ahead of Danny Sullivan. Danny's been doing quite well the last few times out, and he's closed that gap a bit. He's within a shout of Michael, depending on how they do today. But Michael with 3 wins, Danny with 2 at this point. Both with quite a lot of top 5s. I'm actually matching Michael for top 5 somehow, but Ryan Axelson, our driver, in 3rd position in his sophomore season. Not doing quite as well as we did last year, but if any of you remember the 1989 season from a few years ago, real life time now, I think I finished first in this race, I believe, and it was Pocono that was the letdown out of the Triple Crown, where I wasn't able to. I think it was Michael Andretti there actually that ended up getting the win. But this one went pretty well for me, and I'm hoping for more of the same today, so we can hopefully stay ahead of Unser Jr. and pull out more from Ari behind and really just focus forward. There's a lot of road races to go in this, and some tricky ones, some tricky street circuits and stuff. So this is going to be an important race to do well. But it's the Michigan International Speedway, 2-mile high-banked oval, built for Indycar racing, and man, it's one of those ones that you just wish they still went to. But it's a 250-lap race, so it's a 2-mile track, so it's 50 extra laps compared to something like Indy or Pocono to get that 500 miles, and it's a very wide track, so there's plenty of space to avoid other cars here. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how successful I am of it today. But let's go. I'm going to do a quick couple practice laps, make sure everything looks and sounds good before we get into it. Appreciate folks being here today. A little bit different time with the stream. I think I've only ever done these races on a weekend, but guess what? It's taken me 6 months and I haven't been able to get a free weekend to do it. So I think I might start doing more of them during the week, and I hope people don't mind that so much. But yeah, you'll notice, so today we're only going to have 26 cars in the race with us. Pancho Carter, last one to make the entry. And the real-life race only had 26 cars, so it's going to be kind of an empty track compared to something like Indy, where there were 33, obviously. Let me know how the audio is. It looks a little quiet. Get out onto the banking though. It's very much not an easy flat track or anything like that. I need to fix this. We'll increase the volume just a little bit. It's pretty quiet. Yeah, but this track is not an easy like flat out type racetrack. It's still pretty challenging to get around here. That should be a little bit better. But let me know if it's too loud or something. I'm not running a default setup. It's kind of the one I used during the 1989 race, but I tweaked a couple things on it. Watch some of the AI come out of the pits here. So, like with all these races, as I think who is that? Barbaza, maybe? Avoiding the AI is going to be the really important thing to get to the finish line with this, and I need to concentrate on just getting to the end more than anything. Give up positions if I have to, duck out of a battle if I have to, make it to the final 100 miles at least. That's going to be so important to not get in a wreck or something. It's really easy to mix it up with the lap traffic, especially as people start to pit. The pitting can be super awkward in turns 3 and 4 here. As people duck into the pit, sometimes they'll swoop out wide a little bit, so you have to be really careful. We'll just do a couple quick laps, practice a pit in, and then get straight into qualifying. It'll obviously be quite a long race, being the full 500 miles, but we'll have to see how many yellow flags there are. That'll really dictate how long it actually is. In race pace, I don't think I'll be quite the quickest car out there, but I should have a pretty competitive car. And depending on how fast the other guys are, it's really going to dictate whether or not we have a shot to win it or just finish top 5 or something. But I would be happy with a top 5 as long as we finish, and ideally as long as Michael Andretti gets a DNF or something like that. All right, things look good. Hopefully they sound good as well. Car coming up behind me here. Sometimes in practice, some of the other cars, they're on lighter fuel in the practice session, so they'll be quite a lot faster than you. I don't know if the game puts random amounts of fuel inside of the cars or not, but I think that's Groff behind me, actually. He's very quick right now. Mike Groff. But it's good to see you guys. Hey, Taka. I know you said it's quite late for you, but of course this will stay up as a recording either way, so I appreciate you tuning in for at least the beginning. All right, got our first gear. It's really hard to stop in the stall on time with this. I have to baby it to get into the pit stall. Okay, so I think things feel all right there. And we'll get on to qualifying. So qualifying is just a 2-lap qualifying here. And I do have a special qualifying setup that's got obviously less fuel, but a little bit less wing angle just for that high speed than my race setup does. And softer tires and everything. All right. Put that on done. But we'll see what I gotta beat. So I'll be going out last, I guess. It's always saying that the player car is going out last to challenge everybody else, and hopefully do at least better than Brayton. This is going to be a 3-wide start, which is what they did back in the day here, and so I would love to not start in the middle, but I feel like I always end up qualifying in the middle of a row, so hopefully that's not the case. But Danny Sullivan on the pole, provisional pole, 241. I don't think there's any way I'm getting a 241. Michael Andretti in second, great. Raul Boisel in third, Alonso Jr., Rick Mears, Eddie Cheever. So we'll see if we can slot in. I would love a top 5 first couple of rows. Yeah, 3-wide start at Michigan never goes wrong. That's right. They did it right for many years, but all right. So we're going to go out and do our qualifying and hopefully can get up towards the front. And if you've never seen IndyCar 2 before, one of the cool things about this game is maybe the driving isn't quite as realistic as it's definitely not as realistic as modern sims, and the AI certainly are way erratic with wheel-to-wheel racing, but you do have to do all the same kind of stuff that you would do in a modern sim and a modern IndyCar. You've got your front and rear roll bars, you've got your boost, turbo boost that you would change. You got all the strategy elements and everything, so there's a lot of depth there if you can figure out how to navigate some of the clunkier parts of things here. Yeah, they're doing deferent speeds. You're right. All right, up to sixth gear. Take it nice and easy. I'll add some front bar just to make that turn in a little less responsive. We got one warm-up lap here before we jump into things. Ideally, I would be able to flat-foot it around the whole lap, but you got to get the balance perfect to do that. We're going to feel it out here in turns 3 and 4. First lap, I might do a security lift just to make sure we complete it. A little bit of a lift there. I'm going to take one click out of the rear. All right, come get the green flag. 2 laps. Let's see what we can do here. Security left. I really can't afford to not get a qualifying time at all. But these guys are fairly quick. I don't know how far up I'm going to be able to get. A little bit of a low entry just to make the car understeer so they don't spin the rear out. A little wide coming out of the corner, but this will be at least get me off the back row. I'm going to give it one more click of front. Only 12th there. Only 12th. I might have lifted. It was very, very close. All right. I got to stick this nice and good. The front bar helped make it a little more secure. Oh, it's going to understeer. Scrape the wall, willpower style. It's going to ruin the lap, though. That little scrape. Got away with it. I didn't damage the car, I don't think. Yeah, not enough to have it say that there's damage, but I'm only going to be 12th on the grid. I think that's, what is that, an outside? 9, 10, 11. No, it's an inside. This is actually pretty good. Yeah, a lot of understeer there. I probably could have done one more click of rear bar there. Outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're right. Outside. Oh no. I don't know if I've ever done an outside start. but not the best qualifying there. Probably slower than my 89 time. It'll be 12th. Definitely not. I've done faster. I've definitely done 238s, but I think it would have been hard to get far up here. But yeah, Danny Sullivan's going to start on the pole today. Ahead of Michael Andretti and Raul Boisel round out the first row. Unser Jr., Rick Mears, and Eddie Cheever actually starting in row 2. Emerson Fittipaldi, Scott Goodyear, and Ari Lyondike with row 3. And then I'm on row 4 alongside Bobby Rahal and Teo Fabi. The thing I'm worried about on the start here is going to be the checkup with all the other cars as everybody tries to merge to get into turn 1. I'm going to have to lay back quite a lot and just survive this start. But Mario Andretti's on the inside of the row behind us alongside John Andretti and his nephew, and then Didier Thays starting in 15th. We'll keep on looking further back. Tony Bettenhausen Jr. with Pancho Carter in the middle, and AJ Foyt starting back 18th position. Dominic Dobson, Hiro Matsushita, and Randy Lewis back there. And some of the slower cars. Roberto Guerrero, quite slow in the qualifying. Mike Groff alongside Dean Hall as well. And then Jeff Wood and Scott Brayton to round out the field. So it's should be a good grid. It is a short grid, though, and it's interesting to see. I always think of IndyCar in the early 90s as like the golden era. This is when the sport was doing its best, but the fields at Michigan were quite short for quite a few years, and I have to think it's just the risk involved in racing around Michigan. It doesn't have quite the same reward that Indianapolis might have, and so, yeah, it's just shorter grids, and I'm really sorry to see that, KO. I hope you're doing as well as you can do, and maybe I can distract you a little bit today. All right. Going to get set up with the setup and everything in the race. Let me just check the garage one more time. Yeah. All right. So this race, it's 250 laps, like I said, and we cannot do 50 laps without a yellow flag. We cannot do 50 laps on a tank of fuel. So it's going to be about 45 lap stints. And so we'll have to pit 5 times, and the last one will be somewhat of an odd amount of fuel to get us to the end. We'll have to just figure it out as we go. I'm confident there will be a yellow flag at some point in this race, and I really hope that I am not it. That would be bad. But there'll definitely be some sort of yellow flag, and that might really spice up the fuel strategy, and we'll have to figure it out from there. That's part of the fun of this, I think, anyway. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. My plan for this is to try to get to the last 50 laps on the lead lap, and I think from there we could maybe push it a little bit. We'll have a good idea what the car is capable of at that point and everything. But I got to take it nice and easy for the first 200 laps, and hopefully come away with a good finish for this. But I appreciate folks tuning in. Hopefully this is a nice, long, simple race, a nice little relaxing right before Thanksgiving. But thanks for coming along for the ride either way. So we'll get rolling away from the grid here. All right. The checkup is going to be the biggest issue off the start here. We'll get my bars set. Want fairly stiff, a really, really stiff front end. And I give it one more click on the rear, but we just want to make sure we have maximum confidence that the car is not going to spin out on us going into the first corner. We're starting right up behind Ari Lyondike here on the outside. Scott Goodyear is next to him. But yeah, I'm expecting the field to check up quite a lot on the start, so it's going to be a, I don't know, to avoid all the AI. Probably lose a few spots, but as long as I can get through the first couple laps clean, I think that will be success. Like always, with the rest of the races in the season, if we have some sort of weird incident or failure or something like that before the first pit stop, during the first stint, we'll definitely restart the race. Want to make sure we have a fair shot at it. But once we get through that first stop, whatever happens, happens from there. Unless it's, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But we'll try to get through this start clean. I don't know. This is going to go down to second gear. They're going to do a massive checkup here. Here's one. Green flag is out. Michigan 500 is underway. I'm expecting like a big checkup. There's one. Sliding behind Teo here. A few cars slide by on the inside. It's all right. Get it up to 6th gear for the first time. Nice and gentle into turn 1. Got one car coming down low. 2 cars down low. It's Pancho Carter. Oh boy. We're far back. We got Hiro Matsushita going for position behind me. Just take it nice and easy into turn 3. Hiro sticks his nose on the inside. I think AJ Foyt's in there as well. This is rough. Just stay up behind Pancho, I guess. I would like to get to the low side. Man, this is a bad start. Had a little bit of a gap to the low side there, but there goes Thays. He's going to check up in front of me here. Falling all the way to the back. Here goes Dean Hall. Second to last. That was like the worst start of all time. All right, let's see if we can just get a nice run down the front stretch here. Hope nobody cuts into the pits. That's going to be one of the big things to avoid, especially as we get close to pit stop time, is just watching out for cars pitting. Just nice and easy. Down the inside. I got a whole bunch of those spots back. I'm going to be a lot faster than the cars back here, but I just couldn't get to the low side there. Oh, and I'm not using the lossless scaling on this. I find I haven't been able to get it to work super well with Indycar 2 to a point where I can really get into a groove with it. So this is just the default frame rate. I did hear, though, it works well if you're watching videos. You can actually run it yourself on videos. A lot of people have been watching movies and things, movies are normally at 24 FPS. You can run them at double that, and I assume it would work on this as well if you can get that to work. So, all right, finally some open track. I'm hoping for some long green flag runs in this, at least to start, so that we can get nice and spread out. Up to 16th, that was like the worst start possible. Being on the high side is not easy. Just gonna feel out the car and see if we can adjust the bars at all. Go down one click on the front. Just get a little more turn in. AJ Foyt on the high side here. I think I figured out my camera freezing issue. If you were here for the NASCAR stream I did a couple of weeks ago, I was having some cameras freeze on me and stuff. I think I got that figured out, but we'll see. We'll see today. All right. These guys are fairly quick. I'm really slow right now. I don't know what's going on. 12 seconds off the leader already. That's rough. These guys are all stacked up in front. About 30-second laps, so we're already a half a lap down from the leader, which is not a good start in the first few laps of the race. You can see the laps remaining every time I pass the start line. We'll sneak underneath. Raul Boisel from the front row has fallen back to 16th. Yeah, we might have too much downforce, although I did some tests and things and felt much more competitive. I'm probably just driving. It's tougher when it's the quote-unquote real thing. You drive much more conservatively. See if we can get underneath AJ into turn 1 here. Groff slides in front. Pinned down to the low side. Just trying to be hyper aware of the car. Make sure we don't have any spins or anything like that. All right. Scoop underneath Groff up to 13th. Almost back to where we started. Need one more position. Teo Fabi, I can see the two Porsches are actually front to back here in front of me. Teo Fabi and John Andretti. I need to loosen up on the wheel just a little bit. Dent gripping this thing. All right, I think we can successfully say we made it through the start. We're not quite 10 laps in, 15 seconds behind the leader, and really just want to avoid going a lap down. I'm sure we're going to have a yellow at some point, and it's going to close things back up. But luckily, restarts are always single file, so we never have to do a 3-wide start again. In this race, anyway. All right, so we got a little pack here. I think that might be Eddie Cheever as well. He was, I think, in row 2. So a couple of the cars that started up front have fallen way back. Just trying to make a move on Teo there, but he jumped down at the same time. And now we're side by side going down the back stretch. I just didn't know if he was going to try to pin me there. Slipstream. I lost a lot of time to the leaders through there. Car feels all right. I'm just a little bit slow, so we'll keep going because I am making up spots here. That was a great move. So I think Teo had to slide up in front of Eddie Cheever there. Side by side again. We'll head down into turn number 3. Oh, he pinches me down low just a little bit, but I stick my nose in there, get around Teo Fabi, try to chase down John Andretti now. Yeah, the leaders are probably up to the back markers for sure. I gained a little bit on the leaders, but you'll see that ebb and flow as I also will catch lap cars at some point. We've got John Andretti in front here for 10th, so that'll get us back into the top 10 or up to the top 10 for the first time today. Really abysmal start. I think I had a equally bad start at Indianapolis in this season, if I'm remembering correctly. I find that the AI are just really good on starts. If we have a yellow flag at some point, I'll no doubt lose a few spots on a restart, but here we go. John Andretti slides out wide. That might be my move today. Coming out of turn 2, puts us side by side down the backstretch, but if I can get underneath into the turn and they don't squeeze me too much, able to get the spot. All right, chasing Emerson Fittipaldi now. Take a quick peek at the leaders. Oh, it's not Michael Andretti. I was worried it was going to be, but it's Danny Sullivan, Unser Jr., and Michael. Danny has got a heck of a lead right now. All right, Michael has not got uber speed today. Might be Danny, but it's better than Michael. Danny's in second in the championship, though, so not going to help me. Yeah, Danny's dominating early, but there's a long way to go. 235 laps to go. Just try to get through this stint. Enjoy these few laps that I don't have lap traffic, although I don't think the lap traffic is going to be too crazy today because there's only 26 cars. That really cuts out quite a lot of the traffic. I think I can just see Ari Leindyke up there, flickering in and out of view. I found this, I made a few updates to this track. This is Pavel's conversion of, I think, the NASCAR 3 or NASCAR 2 version of Michigan, so the shape is a lot closer to the real Michigan. And then I went ahead and repainted some of the billboards and the grandstand offices and stuff to just match 90s a little bit more. Hey, Ted. Thank you, Ted. Ted did a, if folks haven't seen Ted Meets Indycar 2 season, I'd recommend checking it out, but he just did the Detroit Belle Isle race, and it's a really good one. You may wish to give up hope early on, but don't. It was an exciting race. All right, Emo's coming up to the first lap car. He goes to the high side. The high side might be good in the corners. Ooh, he's going to get squeezed out. Was that Guerrero? And Guerrero is quite slow. should be able to get him on the high side as well. Almost understeering coming out of the corner there. Maybe late in the race I would push the issue there, but just try to take it easy. Car feels a little teetery into the corner there. I'll lower the rear bar one click. Dominic Dobson's gonna block Emo for me. I'll scoot underneath him. Big lift because we came in very shallow into the corner. It's an easy way to loop the car. All right, see if we can pull away from Emo. Got a little bit of clear track again. Looks like Scott Goodyear and Bobby Rahal are battling up there for 6th and 7th. I'm still 17 seconds off, so I'm actually sticking with the leaders roughly. They might be gaining a little bit on me here and there, but I'm no longer falling super far back. It was just those first few laps. Oh, all right, we gotta settle in. This is gonna be a long 2.5 hours if I'm this tense the whole time. No caution flags yet, which is a little bit surprising. I don't know if we have any DNFs at this point. Nobody's out of the race yet. Guerrero is in last position. Yeah, we do get clean air here. We're just about half tank of fuel. And the car's pretty good. It's fairly neutral, which means it's not understeering, it's not oversteering, it's not pushing, it's not loose. Pretty severe on the front bar though compared to the rear, so the car overall is oversteery, but I think it's a little bit better to have a little extra oversteer in the car. As long as it doesn't catch me out at any point. It's funny coming back to this because I've been doing a lot of like NASCAR, the older NASCAR racing games, especially NASCAR Racing 3 lately, and this just feels like you're driving the fastest car in the world compared to driving those stock cars. It's so funny to jump back into this sim. All right, we got Tony Bettenhausen in front. Leave me a gap on the low side. Thank you, Tony. Scoot in front of him. I've caught up to Ari Leyendijk for 8th position here. We'll just see if we can either catch him in traffic or find a good spot to get around. I think we're actually coming up to King Hero. Yeah, it's just under a gallon a lap. So we do about 45 laps on a tank of fuel, maybe 43. And so we'll have to stop 5 times. With that last stop, we'll probably only have to take a half tank of fuel. And so, depending on the yellow flags, that'll probably shorten that last stop. All right. Wasn't quite in front of Ari there. Nice and easy. Ari's going to get hung out behind Hero. Ooh, we're going to take it 3 wide. All right, we'll let him both take the corner. Oh my God, Hero. It's so funny because there is nothing in the AI that you can make certain drivers do silly moves, but it just seems to work out so naturally sometimes. You can make drivers more aggressive than each other, and I can't remember how aggressive I made Hero, but he just seems to get in these scenarios that lead to things like Cleveland where I hit him. It's all right. Oh, I think you went golfing. I saw Wyans. I thought you jumped back in. Thanks. Thanks for that. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. Just eating good food, drinking good drinks, talking to family. Getting low on fuel. I'm going to give it one more click of front bar. I just feel like it's probably just me being a little oversensitive to it right now, but I feel like the car is very loose if I was to crank on the wheel. So I'll just try to make it a little more understeery. Just gives confidence. A stiff front bar is going to give you a lot of confidence, but it might make you slow. I don't know, that seemed to work out well. Those two corners have caught right back up to Ari. So we're catching up to Didier Thays. Be able to set him up for outside of turn, coming out of turn 2 here. He's fairly quick though. Doesn't check up as much as Emo did. And he's going to get a big slipstream for Thays down the back stretch. Sticks his nose in there in a way that I never could. But he might get held up. Gets side by side with Ari coming out of turn 4. Oh, I'm going to get boxed in with Thays though. He dives down low. Whoa, they almost hit each other there. All right. That was close. That's what makes this fun though. I really enjoy trying to get through traffic and battling with other cars at the same time. Puts a smile on my face. Alright, we got 12 gallons of fuel left. We're getting close to the end of the first stint. And then just a little bit on Ari here down the backstretch. Be quite enough to pass. I'm gonna have to get a little braver as this race goes, but not to the last 50 laps. All right, side by side, Dean Hall here on the high side. He'll stay up high. Should get him easily on the exit. There we go. Hey, Don. It's nice to see everybody. Alright, pit stop's gonna be pretty straightforward. I mean, we're just gonna whack 4 tires on it, full fuel. I'm not gonna play with the wings yet. I really haven't lost that much time ever since I got through the back of the pack to start the race. So I don't want to totally change the car yet. But we'll see how the next stint plays out. And hopefully we'll get a yellow flag at some point so it closes up the leaders. Yeah, it's in gallons, so we got about 10 gallons left. 40-gallon fuel tank. We're burning just under a gallon a lap. Well, a nice run on Ari here down the front stretch. Dive low into turn number 1. Try not to upset the car too much, but able to easily pass him there. That was interesting. He got a bad exit out of turn 4. That gets us up to 8th place, though. Chasing Scott Goodyear now. There's a bit of a gap up to him. Get up the outside of Guerrero. Oh, God. Lion Dyke takes the opportunity and gets by me again. Yeah, I thought about fuel saving this whole race, but I just really feel like there'll be some yellow flags, and it just won't quite work out. You'd have to be a lot slower to save enough fuel, so I just don't think it would work. I'm already barely hanging on to this lead lap so far. All right, once again, down the low side of Ari into turn 1. He's not able to keep up with me there. Oh, and he actually stays side by side as we'll head through the corner. Dobson and Brayton there on the outside. Like 3 wide for a moment. What is going on here? Oh my god. That was pretty sketchy. Alright, shifts lanes. I was really close to his rear bumper. His bumper. His gearbox. See, I've been doing too much NASCAR stuff. Alright, Ari gets held up there with Brayton. Scoop underneath him. Just not able to get the speed. He's really quick. Brayton's quite aggressive as well, hitting him to the low side. Ari's looking for a way by. Yeah, we're not out of the championship. It's just Michael's so dominant. And so far, I'm not quite quick enough to challenge leaders today, but we'll see. There's a long race to go, and I'm going to try to not end it here early on, but these guys are making it difficult. I need to get away from Ari. I think I'm quicker than him, but it's just the lap traffic. He's been able to get back around me. All right, decent run there. I'll try to really keep it on the white line. We're going to have Brayton in front of me who's going to make this interesting, but able to get in front of Ari, kind of take the line away going into turn 1. Ari still sticks it out there. Fuel lights on, scares me. Ari's on the high side, but he is behind me this time. Just a little bit. Stick it into turn 3. Keep me pinned down there, Ari. We'll get Brayton as well. All right, not too long, cars are going to start pitting, and it's going to get a little weird. It's good. And clear track now. See if we can get a little bit of a gap on Ari here with the final few laps before the pits. All right, I think some cars are already starting to pit. I'm going to run it as far as we can. Mario's in the pits. I think I saw Sullivan as well. So we'll get up to 5th for a minute here. It would be great if I can somehow lead a lap today at some point. You get some points for that, so. Bozell, man, he's already going a lap down. Started on the front row. Whew. 2.7 gallons left. Rick Mears is leading the way right now. Should be able to do at least one more lap here. All right, Rick Mears in the pits. Oh, come on, Bobby, pit. I think Bobby's in as well, so I might lead a lap here. Yeah. All right, that's huge. All right, we got to pit this next lap, but I do lead a lap, and that is a bonus point. Rick Mears in 2nd. All right, we're gonna pit. 4 tires, full fuel. Tires are a bit worn on the right side. I think I've been driving the car to be understeery this whole stint. Come on. Locking up the tires probably. Oh, I slid way past. Luckily we've got a reverse gear on an oval. I don't think they always ran those. That was a bad pit entry, man. Made it to the first stop though. Not the prettiest first stint, but all right, definitely don't speed. And I had 1 clicker rear bar. I'll keep the front stiff. 80 mile an hour pit speed. All right, so we got 205 laps to go. So I made it about 45 laps, just like I said. Yeah, that's big. That's probably Ari's going to be in front of me now, if I was to guess. All right, now there is no penalty in this game to go above the white line, but I like to play it realistically and not super cheese the AI. So we will be sticking to the entry road. I think I'm still faster than the AI cars doing that, so we'll take it as one of the little advantages I have, but not going to totally joke them there. All right, we got full fuel and brand new tires, so we're just going to feel out the car again. I've got it set up to be super understeery. I think I still stayed in front of Ari, though. In fact, I don't even really see him on the relative here. All right, we're at 30 seconds, so the leader must be right behind me. That's not good. I really wanted to stay in the lead lap. If we get a lap down, it's going to be really hard to recover from that in any meaningful way. Oh, I thought Poncho might be going into the pits there, so I let off the throttle. He's stuck up behind Bozell. Try to get both of them here coming down into turn one. Nice and easy. Down on the front bar, one click. It's very understeery. The leader has to be right behind me. Who am I looking for? Sullivan. So if we see a Marlboro car in the rear view, we know who that is. We are like 1 second ahead of the leader. I could use a yellow flag right now. So bad. We got a really clear track, though. Try to put in some good laps here. Yeah, Michigan's a half mile longer than Texas. Fontana was 2 miles as well, but Michigan has higher banking than Fontana did. So it really was a scary track, and I think that's one of the reasons why the entry list was always a bit lower for Michigan. There were quite a few big scary accidents at this track over the years. I'm just staying ahead of the leader. I haven't seen him in the rear view yet. Oh, I gained a few tenths that lap. He's probably stuck with those two cars that we just got around, and I have to hope for more lap traffic. It's going to be my only saving grace here. And just as I said, I think that's AJ up the road. It's one of the black cars anyway. Jake Petrolhead, thank you. Axelson indeed rides again. In the Axelson universe, time is very relative. Sometimes days take weeks or months. I'm really only about a tenth slower than the leader. It's just traffic and battling with Ari for half of that stint definitely did not help me. We got Bettenhausen in front here. Let's sneak underneath him. If I can play the traffic well, hopefully I can stay ahead of Sullivan long enough to catch a yellow flag. If I could just catch a yellow flag, we would gain quite a bit of that time back. Sitting in 8th right now. If you're just tuning in, we started in 12th position on the outside of a 3-wide start, and I lost basically the entire field went by on the first lap as I tried to get to the low side of the track. And I think I went all the way back to second to last, and we've been working our way back up, trying to stay in the lead lap. We're just in the second stint right now, just under 200 laps to go. Should be able to make it to probably lap 160 or so, 160 to go rather, for this next pit stop. And keeping an eye on the mirror for Sullivan, just making sure I don't overdo the car at all, passing lap cars as best I can. I'll slight lift the throttle there just to make sure I went to the correct side on that one. Yeah, pulled it into 30 seconds though, so I think I'm just quicker through the traffic, which is the one thing I can hope we just keep getting cars to pass. Single cars. I'm chasing Bobby Ray Halls, who we got in front, but he's still about 6 seconds in front of me. Well, hopefully pretty fun to watch so far. I'm happy we got through the start of the race at least, and if I can do another 150 laps and stay in the lead lap, I think we'll be in a good spot at the end. I think we've got pace to get into the top 5 for sure, but it's going to take a little bit of luck at this point to do that, just with being so far behind the leader. I can't go a lap down. I'm going to have to defend pretty hard if we do see Sullivan coming up behind me. All right, we got Matsushita here. Should just get around him before we catch up to these 2 black cars. The 2, are they both Haviland sponsored? No. Haviland with Dobson, and then I think we got Miller Genuine Draft here with Guerrero, who is just horridly off the pace today in the Alpha. Yeah, I don't think we have any DNFs yet. I'll check in a second. But somehow the Porsches are staying together. We would really like to see a certain Newman-Haas car have a failure. That would be ideal. But yeah, nobody out of the race yet. It's a very clean start, which is honestly good for a race this long. If you've got a big accident or something, it can take the wind out of it a little bit. Oh, it looks like Scott Goodyear and Bobby Rahal are battling, which is honestly only good for me. Help me catch him. We've actually pulled that into 4 seconds now, so things might get interesting here as this stint goes on. I do want to make a video soon, as soon as I can. There's been a Riverside, a brand new version of Riverside Raceway made for Indycar 2, and I've been saving up a few other kind of cool add-ons for this game. The 82 car set that I made, and then the analog dashboard that SK put together. It's all together. It kind of transforms this game into like an early 80s kart sim, which I want to make a video about it. Hopefully, I don't know, it'd be great to do it in the next week or something, but it's quite a different experience. Just the version of Riverside is incredible. It's the full course, because that's what IndyCar raced in the early 80s, and it just is so much more detailed than the NASCAR Legends Riverside, which is the one that's kind of been around for these sims for a long time. And Pavel did say that he would, so we're going to catch Bobby here. So I'm just reminiscing, daydreaming. I'm going to get squeezed down. See, I could try to make this 3 wide, but we've got a long way to go as yet. Because Bobby's going to sneak back around me. It's okay. I don't want to go too much time because we got the leader coming towards us, but if I can set these guys up right as they both get stuck behind Cheever. Eddie Cheever is my best friend right now. I'm at least going to get Goodyear. These 2 hold each other up a bit. I don't like being 3/4 of a car length behind another car. I get a big draft slipstream off Cheever here. Pull me alongside Bobby. Oh boy. High side, maybe 3 wide for a second, but able to make it stick. Find a new lane up there. All right, let's put a gap on these guys, because it'll certainly take Sullivan a minute to get around them. All right, up to 6th position. Just a little bit of patience. We got Unser Jr. in front of us now as Dean Hall very slow in the middle of the corner. I think he got chopped off from Mike Groff in front here in this red car. So I'm not going to quite get Groff in time to make the pass into turn 3. I actually have decent pace on this high line, which I'll have to remember. So there's Al right in front of me. Little Al is the next car in the road. Been losing a lot of time to Sullivan still, but I think he's still got to get through all of that traffic behind me. So hoping we can use that to keep this gap alive. yellow flag. Oh, big crash up here. I see a car stopped on the low side. I think that was Guerrero. He finally bit it. All right. What are we at lap-wise? We'll look at what happened in a minute here. Let's just get it sorted out. There comes the pace car, so we don't get stuck behind the pace car, which is good. We just got to catch up to the pack now. 66 laps. I think we got a pit. And I think we'll follow Unser Jr. here. I think the pits would be open right now. Should we do it? I don't want to go a lap down, though. I think we got to go around. There's not so many cars in the lead lap that I'm at most going to lose 2 spots from pitting late. So we'll go around. We'll pit next time by. And that we might be able to skip a pit stop then, or a green flag one anyway. This is good. Man, that was a really, really long run till the yellow flag there. I normally see one a little bit earlier, but yeah, I'm gonna pit. It's gonna be, we're gonna have to start behind all the lap traffic, but I think it makes sense to pit right now. We have a half tank of fuel. We might have to go into fuel save a little bit, but we might be able to shorten this whole thing. Oh, come on. That was not good. It's all right. Yeah, I think we'll be in 8th position. All right, we'll look really quick at the replay. I think it was Guerrero. Probably just got loose and spun out, I would imagine. All right, where are you? Oh, I can see. Oh, there was a multi-car crash here. Oh, it's Dobson. It's not Guerrero. It's Dominic Dobson, at least initially. Dominic coming into the corner. Just loses it right in front of Pancho Carter. Oh, there goes. I think that was the leader, or Sullivan, maybe. Wow. Look at that from the other camera. Just loses it in front of Carter. Say he blows an engine, gets some oil on the tires, spins out. Oh, Carter did hit him. Man, how close was that? Who is this? I think that's, yeah, it's Fittipaldi. It's not Sullivan, but we'll ride on board with him. That was a close call. Whoa. That's crazy. I love how much debris and stuff flies off the car in this game. All right, we will get back in the car here. All right, we're going to be ultra nice with the fuel now. So this is only going to help me, I think, because we'll have more fuel than anybody else. The big disadvantage with this is we're going to be behind all of the lapped cars, but I've already done it once, and certainly folks will be a little more spread out now just on pace, so hopefully I can get through them quickly, safely. That's the biggest risk here, is getting into an accident. But I don't know. If we end up closer than 30 seconds behind Sullivan, I think we'll be in a good spot. But yeah, it's Danny Sullivan ahead of Mario's in second today and Michael's in third. Rick Mears, Unser Jr., Bobby Ray Hall, Scott Goodyear, Ryan Axelson. I'm the last car in the lead lap in 8th position so far. John Andretti, Teo Fabi behind. Emerson Fittipaldi, AJ Foyt, Ari Landyke, and Mike Groff. Mike Groff holding on to just one lap down. And yeah, just Dobson out now. Luckily, it seems like maybe, I don't know, those other cars didn't get any damage or something. It's a wide track, yes, and I just have to be really patient with this. One lap until green. Unfortunately, like, you don't get to pass the lapped cars or anything. I don't think they did anything like that until the more modern era, so. I have Scott Goodyear directly in front of me here. All right, I really, really need to get through this traffic nice and safe. I'm gonna just pop up one click of front bar so that we've got a little more confidence in the car. And we'll just see, just take the moves I know I can make avoid AI as they're trying to pass each other and all that. Well, appreciate y'all watching. It's a good group of folks in. But I was worried doing this in an evening if folks that watch. I know we got a lot of people in Europe, but yeah, I gotta watch for the brake check. Get the boost back on. Watch for the brake check, and just take it easy. It's still such a long race to go. This is kind of a reset of sorts. We're only on lap 70. Just gonna hang back a little bit. All right. This is, I think I had to do this once last season, the 89 season. It's, at least it's not a late race restart. That's when things get really nasty. Bettenhausen on the low side here. See one car, I think Sullivan's just absolutely on it out front. Now let's see if we can pass a couple cars down the front stretch here. Alright, 9 p.m. is not so bad in Europe. A lot of understeer there. I need to get rid of that one click on the bar. I gotta wait for this front stretch run and just kind of pick them off this way. Brayton's pinning me down. Brayton must have a lot of aggression because he's very, very assertive. I'm also heavier on fuel now, which I actually really didn't think about, and it does make a big difference here. So I'm gonna just be a little bit slower on pace than other cars, even that I was competing with before. There's Guerrero on the high side. Get around him at least. It's like a rocket ship. Brayton here is pretty quick. These guys are all fairly quick. I'm already 10 seconds behind Sullivan. And we know I only have a couple cars behind me, so I got to get more of this traffic between me and potentially him. I wasn't quite able to carry the speed there, but Brayton, side by side. Hero on the high side. Keep it real low. Back into the draft. You do pick up a lot of speed with the slipstream, so you have to use it. It's just tough following other cars in this game sometimes. There's Brayton down low. Flip him off there. Moselle so off the pace. Yeah, I'm not really saving fuel yet. Mostly just trying to easily get through this traffic, which is naturally going to save a little bit of fuel. I don't know. I think we're still going to have to pit at this point, but if we get another yellow flag at the right time, you never know. I think I just have more options now because I pit then. And I really didn't lose that much time. I only lost 2 spots. All right. Traffic's finally starting to break up here. I'm side by side with Didier Thays. I can see a Marlboro car up there. I think that's probably Emo. Is Emo behind us? Must be. He's a bit slow today. Emo is always good at these tracks. Michigan's actually where he kind of ended his career. I think you just gotta hope doesn't happen as a car crashes directly in front of you. All right, Emo on the low side there. Not gonna be able to make that work. He's out wide. They kind of do that move when they're gonna pit sometimes, and that's what I gotta watch out for. So get him, but he's actually gonna try to come back on me. I got the slipstream from Dean Hall though, the draft. Yeah, Emo could have definitely won more. I mean, the year that was a 94 with the Beast that Unser Jr. won really was Emo's race, and just bad communication. He thought he was fighting for something that he wasn't. All right, inside of Poncho Carter here. Get him down into turn one. Car feels a little skittish there. Tries a pretty aggressive corner. Chasing AJ. We're only 3 seconds off of Ray Hall, apparently. I don't see him. Doing all right on Sullivan. Sullivan is so fast today. I mean, I just don't think we've seen this before where there's one car that's just so much faster, and I'm just happy it's not Michael. I think we're going to have to hope for Sullivan to have a failure and see if we can get into this top 5 again. Oh, I see a big pack up there. These guys, we'll have to see what lap it is when we pass this time. They're going to start pitting a few laps before me, probably about 10 laps before me. I just got to be heads up to that. I think the rest of the pack, if nobody pitted then, is probably going to have to pit at about 7 laps. Or no, probably, yeah, about, what was it, 45, 45, 90. Should be 7 laps, right? It's the mental math. I'm rusty. Yeah, that's what I thought. Should be pitting soon, so we're going to go quite a bit longer, which honestly, I'm going to be a lot faster for that time period. So if we get a yellow at the right time, it could also work out really well for me to just have had a fast stint compared to everybody else. So what we want to happen is for it to stay green basically until the lap I have to pit. And if the yellow flag could come out right on the lap I have to pit, that would be our maximum advantage. But even if it came out a couple laps after I pit, it would still be pretty good, because I think everybody else would choose to pit then, and we'd all be on a similar strategy, but I would have gained a bunch of time. AJ is fast. I can't get a good run on him. drafted him down the straights, but then he is just really fast. Yeah, what we really don't want is for there to be a yellow flag like right now. That would be bad. All right, I got to be careful about being on the inside of these guys through turns 3 and 4. They're not exactly forgiving with the pit entrance. Well, it's been a while since I've had an actual run-in with AJ, so hopefully he's gotten over that. All right, I think folks are gonna start pitting here. Not yet. Well, there's a couple cars on there. Those might be DNFs, but I think, yeah. Oh yeah, folks are pitting. All right. We might be able to grab the lead here and lead actually a few laps, which I don't think will be in contention for most laps led, which is another point, but it would at least be a nice little run there. Guerrero, my God, he's like standing still. There comes everybody into the pits. All right, Unser Jr. is the only car still out. Did Al pit as well? I don't think anybody else took that, which sometimes they do, so it must just not have been the right numbers for the AI to want to pit, but they don't always all take the same strategy. They'll divert once in a while. Seems like a lot of these lap cars are staying out, which is interesting. All right, we're in the lead. Leading the race, 160 laps to go. We're still a decent ways from halfway, but we're half tank of fuel. We might actually be able to put a lap on a few of the faster cars, which could also come to our benefit if a few cars pitting there. That could also be to our benefit if we get a yellow flag at this right time. Right now would be the worst time to get a yellow flag, but if we can go another 20 laps and get one, that would be perfect. Yeah, there comes little Al out of the pits, and I just put him a lap down. This is really interesting. It's all going to be about that yellow flag, I think. Because if I come out of the pits and it's still green, I'm going to have a really tough time keeping up. So that's the negative of this strategy is if I'm coming out of the pits and I have to do a full stint, I'm going to lose a lot of time on a full tank of fuel. I can see a Newman Haas car in front of me, actually. I think this is Michael Andretti in front of me. The team would be telling him there's a different strategy, but I'm sure he would not want to let me by. A little bit slow there, Michael, today. Get him there, but yeah, we'll have the speed down the front stretch. Swoop down low, make the pass. Try to get his dad here. Michael's a lap down, man. If we can get the yellow flag at the right time, that's gonna be huge. I feel like we have not had a race like this yet, where the strategy is so different. Didn't see the start of it. There was a yellow flag and I decided to dive into the pits, which gave me the horrible disadvantage of having to pass the entire field. But I've now got about a half tank of fuel to do a half a stint where I'm going to be so much faster than the rest of the cars. And if I can get a yellow flag at the right time, it's going to really elevate my position in the race. We're really hoping it goes to basically the lap that I pit on, or a few laps after that we get a yellow flag, and that would just really help me out. But we're now lapped. We've now lapped up to 3rd place. Mario Andretti's now a lap down. And Danny Sullivan is probably about 10 seconds in front of me. We'll see if we can close him in. The AI strength is tough to describe because it is technically set at 100% in the game, but you can change how fast the AI are in a few different ways. So I don't really. I have an algorithm I use to set the strength so that it's always competitive for myself. Get around King Hero there. Yeah, I'm gaining on Danny, but Danny is quick enough to overcome this fuel difference. And as the stint goes, my tires are going to start wearing, and his fuel will have burnt sufficiently off that it's not going to be such an advantage, at least with a car that quick anymore. But I don't know, I'm sitting in a pretty good spot right now. It's just, will I get lucky? Playing the lottery today. Got it right in here in front. There's a lot of time there. Gaining about a half a second a lap on Sullivan. Keep on one. Roselle goes for the pass just as I do. Take to the apron. Guerrero there is so slow. Yeah, it's really tough to judge should you go high or low for a pass. I have to get better at that as this race goes. Was indeed almost a caution, self-induced. We don't want to be the caution. That's what we definitely don't want. So under 150 to go. These races, I don't know, they kind of fly by if you're really in it. Oh, I think is that Sullivan in front? It's definitely a Marlboro car. I feel like that's probably Mo. It's too close to be Sullivan. I can imagine the TV broadcasters will be trying to scramble to explain how Axelson is suddenly in the lead. These two are very slow here. Oh boy. Suck it in. Into the wall there. Oof. Shouldn't do stuff like that. That's what gets you into trouble. Things are going well so far. I am absolutely on track to get a top 5 today. And maybe, because Michael is in 4th, maybe I can beat Michael today, which would be great. And if I get a yellow flag at the right time, we might even be able to win this. About 6 seconds, I think. 6 seconds to get up to Sullivan. Jeff Wood there, Eddie Cheever. Just blowing by these guys. I'm on basically qualifying fuel, and they're all on probably 30 gallons at this point. It makes such a difference in this game, and I find that makes it really dynamic. Yes, finishing is the important part. You're right. A lot of understeer there. Really scrubbing the tires, but they seem to last the full stint fine, so I'm not worried about it. Car in the pits ahead. Definitely saw a car in the pits there. Be a DNF. You know, this might actually be Sullivan in front of me. I was thinking it was too far ahead, but... Oh, yeah. John Andretti, the Porsche, has given up for John today. John is out of the race. Oh, there goes Sullivan into the pits? Yeah? Sullivan into the pits? Just watch for it. He's pitting. Why is he pitting? He must have like a flat tire or something. That's crazy. That's really going to set him back. I don't think he's out of the race, but... He is out of the race. Oh my God. All right, it's on. It's absolutely on. He was by far the fastest car today, and I don't think, if it stays green, I don't think we would beat him, but now that he's out of the race, the only negative with that is that Michael Andretti is now going to be in second once I pit. Yeah, he had a DNF. I mean, maybe he was so fast, maybe he had that turbo boost cranked too high. All right, coming up lap 140 here. Just a few more laps before I pit. And, man, we could really use a yellow flag in, like, 5 laps. I'll probably come out doing pretty well against everybody. But it's going to be those first 10 laps after I pit that's going to really lose me a lot of time. Underneath AJ here, we got King Hero in front. Oh boy. That was really close. Yeah, remember, it is 1995 physics, so we are really booking it. Yes, patience. You're right, you're right. I get ahead of myself here. I start feeling more comfortable and then taking risks. It's what got me out of Indy as well. I just did a really silly pass on Willie T. Ribbs. All right, we might have enough fuel for one more lap, and I'm going to take it because every lap is going to matter for this race. It's going to be close, though. But yeah, we're going to go one more lap. I'm going to be very, very, very close on fuel to make it this lap. But you never know if I might need that extra lap. I might actually just kill the boost a little bit for this final lap before I pit. No, we got it. Luckily, the game doesn't sputter or anything, so you've got fuel until you run out. All right, we're gonna pit this time. Slow down a little bit too early. I gotta really not run through my box this time. Ugh, slow entry, come on. There we go. Full fuel. Whoa, this is an interesting race. There it is. All right, don't speed. 80 miles an hour. I can't believe Sullivan's out of the race. We might come out like right around the lead, but I'm going to be so much slower than everybody. So that's really the risk here. Yeah, they just passed the line, so I'm probably going to get passed here. There goes Mo. Oh my God, there goes Mario. There comes Michael. All right, we're in third. We're right behind him, but the question's going to be how much can I stick with him? I got full fuel. They're on probably about a half a tank at this point. There comes another car into the pits. Interesting. You got to cut the fuel close because that can compound itself. Now maybe I can make it an extra lap on this stop, and we might actually not have to pit an extra time compared to everybody else even. They might have to splash and go at the end. Maybe our splash will be shorter. So it's all going to add up. We really got to try to get the most I can out of this car right now. Lost 2 seconds. Lost 2 seconds on that lap. It's going to improve a little bit, but this first 10 gallons of fuel is rough. Michael Andretti's in second. Mario's in first, so it is better than Michael leading, but they're very close together, so Michael might have a shot at passing Mario. Oh, I actually gained on him that lap. Gotta be traffic or something. Come on, traffic, hold him up. This is why I love this game. It's just fun to do this type of scenarios. The physics are not great. They're impressive for the time, but they're not great. The AI, you're racing to avoid them, but the race is so fun. That's why this is so much fun. All right, I lost a lot of time there, but we're doing all right. 6 seconds is. Well, and I was in danger of going a lap down on the first stint, so we are very much in this race at this point. Yeah, Michael's the number 3. Mario is number 6. Mario has a red roll hoop, and I think that's the only difference, and the numbers are red on his car, so that's how you can tell them apart. I just need to be aware of when they're going to pit, because that's going to keep things spicy here. Yeah, we're closing in on halfway. The fact that I'm sticking with Jeff Wood and I'm not really able to pass him is telling enough about how much slower we are, but I'm still only 7 seconds behind, so I am slower, but I'm not losing quite as much as I was thinking I might, so this is good. It's going all right now. Still got half a race to go. And if we can make it around Hero, it's always a good day. Third position, and we might have something in our pocket for strategy, especially if we get another yellow flag. Eddie Cheever, driving for Chip Ganassi. Try to really use this exit. I'm way quicker through there, especially if I back up the corner like that. Call Eddie's bluff there. Get him. I'm death gripping this wheel. I'm really holding on today. There's no force feedback in this game, so you just have to like really pay attention. It's a dangerous game to read chat during. Try my best not to. Around Guerrero there. All right, coming up halfway, sitting in third spot, starting 12th on the grid. I was in last place, effectively last place a couple of times in this race, and the fastest car, Danny Sullivan, had some sort of mechanical issue at about lap 100, and we're on a different fuel strategy from the other leaders, where they're probably going to have to pit in about 8 laps or so, I'd imagine, and we can repeat the whole thing again. And honestly, if we go through a couple cycles of this, I might just naturally get the lead, because I'm a lot faster for quite a while. Come down to when those yellow flags happen, if they happen. I can't remember how many yellows we had during the 89 race, but there's usually at least a couple in these 500 milers, so I'd be surprised if we go green the rest of the way. At this point, it might work out for me if we do go green. So we already have kind of two ways to win. One is if it goes green the rest of the way. The second is if we get a yellow flag at the right time. So things are looking pretty good for old Ryan today. I could be able to make this pass. You have to be basically in front of a car for them to not turn down on you. It's one of the secrets of the AI in this game is just don't ever try to pass if you're not fully in front. And if you've got both of your wheels in front of them, then you're good. Whoa. All right, got very loose there. Just click down one rear bar. I got on the apron a little bit, which is why, but that was scary. Yeah, I've got a CRT filter on this just because I feel like it makes the game look better. I don't know. I'm not usually one for these types of effects, but I've been playing with it now for at least this whole season, and I really like it. And I haven't gotten any bad feedback from it, so I assume at the worst, people just put up with it. All right, side by side with this red car. Just in front of him. Oh, Mario's in the pits. He's pitting 120 laps to go, so he's going to have to pit twice more in this one. Right, if he's 120, if he can make it, let's say 45 laps, that'll be 180, 75 laps to go. He'll make it another 45 laps, so yeah, he's 2 more stops. I think I'm also going to have to do 2 more stops, but my last stop is going to be a real small one, and I think they're going to have to fill up. So get around. That was one of the Newman Haas cars. I'm not sure which one it was, but Michael's in the pit, so we're leading again, and this is our time to shine. Try to pull away as much as possible. Yeah, I think the maximum resolution on this game is 640 by 480. So it's real rough. It's real small. So I think the CRT effect, it just helps blend the colors a bit and make it, I think it just makes it a little easier on the eyes. All right, Bettenhausen, very slow there. Rick Mears pitting, Allister Jr. pitting. It's good to see Rick still in a race. I feel like he always has lots of DNFs in this. Really tight on the entry to turn 3 there. Yeah, it's funny reading the manual for this game and the box and everything, because it's the selling point is that it's super high resolution. But I feel like the main complaint about this game these days is how low resolution it is. So just we use a lot more pixels now. Goodyear's still out, which is interesting. He's stretching it a bit longer than the other guys, but there we go. Got him a lap down. He just pit, I guess. So everybody has pit behind me. We are the only car on this lap. If we get a yellow flag now, we are golden, man. They would all get their lap back, but I would effectively start directly behind them, and it'd be a lap ahead effectively. So. Yeah, the rear view mirrors, they take a little bit of getting used to, but they allow you to see to your left and right, which on such a narrow field of vision is very helpful. So you definitely get used to it, but it is disorienting. This is Bobby Rahal in front of me. I think I'm going to be putting him a second lap down. AJ Foyt going in the pits. Get around Bobby. Down the backstretch here. I'm running on a 144 hertz monitor. I run it at 120 because videos and streaming, I always stream at 60, so it works better with 120 than 144. But oh boy, Didier! See, that's why it's good to practice. So I knew he was pitting as soon as I saw him move up like that, and a less knowledgeable me would have tried to pass him there and would have been taken out. So that was a close call. I might not have looked it, but that was very close. I mean, currently the whole field is a lap down, so I think it counts as them all being lapped, but it's really going to depend on how if there's yellows, and then, you know, everything else as to if I do stay ahead or not. This is Fabi in front of me, so one of the Porsches is still in the race. The other one, we saw Andretti exit with a failure. We'll see after the race what that failure was. I'm sure it's like a piston ring or something. Yeah, this strategy I'm on is, I think, race winning, depending on if there's yellow flags and when they happen. But there's multiple scenarios here where I can win this. So I think it's looking pretty decent right now. I just got to actually do it. So over 100 laps to go still. Plenty of time for extracurriculars as we were speaking of one here. Ari sliding up in front of me. We'll just make the switch, go to the low side. Lose a little bit of time, but live to fight another day. And in the back of my head, I've been thinking this entire race that I hope I don't have a mechanical failure, because that's happened to us this season already, and that would really ruin things. Not a lot you can do to prevent those. Finally get a clean corner there. A couple cars coming out of the pits ahead. I think it's Hero, of course. Safe route, go to the low side. I think I see one of the Newman Haas cars ahead, which doesn't really make sense. Or maybe it's Jeff Wood. 106 laps to go. I'm going to be about 5 or 6 laps short of making it on one more stop after this, which is definitely within saving range. We'll have to see where I come out, though, in regards to everybody else. But I think we'll be able to do a really short splash and dash, no tires at the end if it stays green. Man, so slow. Yeah, it is really hard. I feel like folks are always interested in like, oh, can you save fuel? Do a saving strategy. You have to be very slow to save a meaningful amount of fuel, and there's only certain scenarios where that makes a lot of sense. So even this, I think the best bet is to still push, try to get a good enough lead, because my last stop is going to be so much shorter than all of their last stops, and that alone, I mean, if it stays green, that alone could win me this race. So we'll see. All right, get around Tony Bettenhausen there. Nice pass on Eddie there. Cars are very slow right now because they have full fuel, and I'm basically on qualifying fuel. Get around Didier, who I almost hit in the same spot a few laps earlier. Yeah, fuel saving on an oval especially, that's a great point, Greg, that it's even less of an option. In this era of IndyCar anyway. It's different nowadays, but might have been able to scoot around the high side there, but the bottom side is definitely safer. Things are looking good. If you're just tuning in and it looks like I am easily going to win this, it's anything but. We're on a different strategy from everybody else, and I'm going to have to pit here in just 6 or 7 laps. And it really is going to depend on if we get a yellow flag at the right or wrong time, or if it stays green. I think things will look pretty good if it stays green. But it's been an interesting race so far. Danny Sullivan was super fast off the start and led the first 100 laps or so, but then something broke in the car and he DNF'd, and it's really changed the race. Definitely different than any Michigan 500 that I've done. Still a lot of work to do here to get to the end. Scotty Brayton on the low side. We'll just get around him. All right, 99 laps to go. We're in the real countdown now. 99 laps. At this rate, if we stay green, 2 more stops, but one of them will be basically a splash and dash. Fuel lights on. Let's see if we can squeak out another extra lap here. If I can, the more laps I can squeak out, the shorter that splash and dash at the end will be. We'll see if I've perfected my pit stop so I can actually stop on the marks. Yeah, 3 stops to it. Three gallons. Right, 3 more laps. One more lap. We'll pit next time by. It's not going to be enough fuel to do another lap, so we'll pit this time. It's fine. I got a clear track. We shouldn't catch these 2 in front. I think it's actually Unser Jr. there. I will not pit. I'm going to try not to miss the pit, guys. It's hard. It's harder than it looks to slow down. I feel like that's one of the arts to oval racing, is the entry and exit of the pit lane is not easy. Luckily in this game you can't lock the tires, so that's a huge help. Okay, that was, you have to admit, that was pretty decent. All right, Michael just unlapped himself. I'm going to be in the lead, I think. Excellent. Here, let's just get through the pit lane without speeding. Even hit 1 mile an hour above 80, you will get black flag. So you'll see I stick a few miles an hour under it because it's really not worth it. You're going to gain fractions of a second for literally a race ending issue. And again, I could go on the track here, but I like to play it realistic, although I'm really flirting with what would be considered legal. We got a lot of advantages anyway, so we try to keep it at least somewhat real. All right, the bars should actually give it 1 more rear, so we don't understeer a bunch here. All right, we're in the lead. We got to just keep an eye on the mirror for Mario coming up behind. He'll certainly be a lot faster, but I retain the lead after pitting here. 1.8 seconds back, so this strategy is working out for me. I'm netting time on them. I think I see Ari Lyondike behind me. It's not who I was expecting. Try to keep him back there, but I can't do anything stupid here. Heard a car in the pit lane that time. I don't think there's anybody else on our strategy. Could be, though. A bit further down. Yeah, I pit under caution, and pretty much nobody else did. But I did have to start at the very back of all the lapped cars, all the leaders. So I effectively had to pass the whole field, which was, I mean, it's very risky in this game. So it's definitely not free positions. All right, 90 laps to go. There he is. There's Mario right behind me. The blue and white car on the left. Try my best here to hold him, but he's going to have a head of steam down the straightaways. Block his little run on the high side there. Here comes Ari back down low on him. Just got to be careful not to clip myself on one of them from behind. Oh, here he comes, looking high. Not able to do it there. It's right behind me, though. I don't need to keep him behind me to still win, but it is always good to be in the lead. And we actually could be in the running for most laps led. I didn't think it would be possible because of Sullivan, but it'll be close. If I lead a significant amount from here to the end, it'll be definitely close. There he goes, looking high. Here comes Mario on the high side. Should still have the spot into turn 3 here. Filling up my mirrors, man. We're burning off that really difficult part of the stint. And they will be still quicker for the entire stint, the rest of their stint, but it won't be quite as much as we get a little further here. And some lap traffic could help me if I can get around them better. Sliding up a little bit wide coming out of 4. He's not able to get under me, though. Trying not to focus on it too much, but there he comes. Ugh, he's going to squeeze me up. Right to the wall. He didn't like that. All right, here comes Ari down the low side. All right, hopefully I can stick with Mario here, though. Michael's 2 seconds behind. Wow. Mario almost got Ari there. He gets caught up behind Bettenhausen. Tony. 3 wide down the back stretch at Michigan. That is sketchy stuff. Oh my God. That was nearly a race ender for me. Is Tony, is he going in the pits or is he just that slow? All right, it's not the end of the world, but at least I avoided an accident there, but here comes Michael behind me. Man, right up to the wall. Everybody should have to stop 2 more times. It's just their second stop is going to be significantly longer than mine. And so even if we're within a couple seconds of them, I should pretty easily have the lead at the end of the race. Here comes Michael down low. It's all right. It's not the end of the world. They should have to pit maybe 6-7 laps. Nah, I just didn't have a chance to block him there. He got the jump on me out of turn 2. Yeah, I really don't care if Mario, like, I obviously want to win, but if Mario wins, that's not the end of the world. But I really do need to finish in front of Michael here. but finishing one spot in front of him is not going to do that much for the championship, but it's the principle of it. And with Sullivan DNFing today, that could be huge for the battle for second. So there's a lot on the line here, and I just need to close this race out. It's been a really good race so far. Not an easy one by any stretch, but it's going my way, and I just need to keep it. Laps to go. We're getting down to it. These races sound so long at the start, but I don't know, I find they go by so fast. So Mario's the fourth car in front of me here, so we're still within sight of the leader. Yeah, I like races, oval races with lots of pit stops. That's what's fun with. I've been doing a lot of that NASCAR Legends, the last game I streamed, and that's one of the fun things about it is that at like Daytona or something, you're only doing 21 laps on a fuel tank before the fuel or the tires wear out. So you're just always pitting, and the race gets really mixed up, and it's just fun. Michael's being held up with Thays and Ari in front, 3 wide. Oh boy. Around Thays this time without any dramas. Should have to pit here any lap. Actually, Michael in front might be going into the pits. Yeah, there he is. All right, Michael's pitting. Mario stay out? No, they're both pitting. We're going to resume the lead here. I've got almost 23 gallons of fuel to try to pull as much as I can on him before my final major stop. But they're absolutely going to have to stop again. In fact, they're almost going to have to take a full tank of fuel on the last stop. I mean, if this stays green, it's really looking good right now, so I got to take it nice and careful. Come out of the pits, put him a lap down. Mario there just came out of the pits as I passed. Pitting. Goodyear's still out. Goodyear's running a bit longer than everybody, but he's still going to have to pit twice more. Like me too, but that second stop, they're going to have to pit with like 30 laps to go or something, and it's going to be quite a bit of fuel. There he is. Goodyear in the pits will put everybody on a lap down again, and pull out well here. Ari gets squeezed down underneath Pancho Carter in front. Don't get too crash each other now. All right, Ari dives into the pits. This might be Emo coming out. Getting on the exit on the high side there. Woof. Makes that sketchier than it has to be. All right, 70 laps to go. Got 17 gallons of fuel. We should have to pit with... Oh, what will it be? 53 laps to go, which will put us probably 10 laps to go will be our final stop. And we'll put in like 10 gallons of fuel. Who knows why it uses different plus and minus, yeah. I miss that they removed that top left board from the other games, and I like it because I don't know, I don't always like to have HUD open. I leave the driver standings for you all. Oh, Pancho, come on, gosh, got around him there, but that was really tight. I leave the driver standings open because it's fun to watch the race with everybody, but I don't like to have a bunch of HUD on, and I feel like that's perfect. You just figure out at the end of every lap how many laps to go there are and what position you're in. Exactly what I want. Unser Jr. on the high side here. I hate that entry to turn 3 on the low side, but is able to get around him. Just so worried they're going to turn in on me. I think this is Rick Mears in front of me, and we're going to put 5th place 2 laps down here in a second. Having a good run though, just not quite enough to be in contention. I'm not going to have quite enough to get around him before the corner. We'll get him on the exit. So Mario is still in front of Michael, back in 2nd and 3rd right now. They're a lap behind me. I'm going to have to pit in about 13 laps. There'll be, yeah, about 15 or 53 to go, 52, 53 to go when I pit. They should have to pit again with about 30 laps to go. And then I'll pit with 10 to go. And I only have to put 10 gallons of fuel in the car at the end, and that's my ace card. I think at this point, if everything stays as it is, I should have about a half a lap on him, I think. So it's looking good. I just got to close this race out, not do anything stupid. Get to the end. Yeah, I could split it. I mean, that's a fair point, but you kind of want, like, there's still enough of the race. This is my thoughts on it anyway. There's still enough of the race left to go that I want to be able to control my destiny a bit more. So if you fill it up, then you've got as maximum amount of options as possible for you. And there's probably a more efficient way to kind of do a little bit of both, right? Because definitely for the first 5 or 6 gallons of fuel, it is it is slow. So maybe filling to 36 still gives you kind of the plenty of options, but if I filled it to halfway, then I would have to pit on a certain lap, and if there's a yellow flag or something, it would really mess me up, potentially. All right, pass both those jokers. I mean, if we knew it was going to be a green flag, then splitting would be a good option because I would never have to be on full fuel. But we don't know that, and that's what keeps it exciting. So we gotta prepare for everything. Around Days there, Goodyear jumped him as well. Goodyear's in 4th, but we're gonna put him 2 laps down as well here in a second. Under 10 gallons now. Put 1 bar down on the rear. Yeah, they've only got 1 more and I have 2, but I'm a lap ahead because I did 1 less already. It's confusing at this point, but we're doing the same number of stops. I just only have to do a splash and go for my last one, and they've got to do basically a full pit stop. So that's the advantage, is Hero just makes that epic rejoin there. So Bobby Rahaal's looking down the low side of Fabi. I'm going to take to the apron to avoid that mess. You got to be careful on the apron though, because the AI don't see you down there. Oh, I'm just absolutely eating them for lunch right now. Just get AJ here into turn 3. Yeah, epic rejoin. All right, 58 laps to go. These 500 milers always turn into a little bit of a countdown towards the end. Should be able to do 5 more laps here. Get us to 51 to go. We're only going to have to pit with like 6 laps to go at the end. It's a little frustrating. There's still a chance we get a yellow flag with like 10 laps to go, and it messes me up. That's why I probably won't wait till the very, very end to pit. Yeah, we'll have to see the gaps and stuff, but if I have them a lap down, then I will wait as long as possible. But if we're on the same lap as somebody, it might be better to pit sooner to cover for a yellow flag. We'll see. There's still some drama to unfold yet, I would guess. Yeah, I mean, there is a short grid. We talked about it at the start of the race. There's only 26 cars that ran this race in 1990, so that's all we're running today. So it's a little empty out here compared to a full grid. We've only had 1 yellow today so far. Yeah, Paulina, I know. It is very nice when it's exactly a gallon a lap. It's a lot easier to do the math. I thought, man, he is so slow. I thought he might be pitting. I've done that already. Lose some time through that, but at least we're safe. Hey, Ian. One more lap. I almost royally messed that up because I was not paying attention to my fuel there, but we do got just enough to get around one more lap here. All right, need to nail this. Don't want to lose any extra time on pit road. But we're just getting full fuel and tires. Easy day for the crew thus far. Oh, come on. Oh, I did not get it. Dang. That was a bad entry. At least we can reverse quickly. Much quicker than real life. Wow, there's still a lap behind me. There they go. Just going by as I'm rolling. We're so far ahead now. All right, nice and easy here. Yeah, I know. I could downshift early. It's just you also need to make sure you don't blow the car. Look how many cars are out of the race as well. A lot of DNFs now. A lot of DNFs. There's only 18 cars still on the track. I mean, it's pretty realistic, but it's wild. There's a big pack. It's probably one of the only packs of cars. All right, we're back on the track. We're still leading. We came out of the pits in the lead last time as well, but they were able to get back around me, so we'll see if they're able to catch up this time. There goes Unser Jr. getting his lap back, and here's Rick Mears as well, getting his. All right, nice and easy here. See what the gap is this time around coming to the line. They're going to be pretty close, but I might be able to hold them off. I was pretty successful last time. How far is it? 3 seconds. 3 seconds, but also probably at least 10 seconds in the pits. So we're doing pretty well right now. Michael has lost a lot of time, actually, so he's 10 seconds back. I think Goodyear is probably too far back to take Michael, but that would be really, really good for me. All right, everybody, cross your fingers the car does not have a mechanical failure here. We're in the final 50 laps, final 100 miles. This is when I said at the start of the race I was going to start racing, but it's just kind of worked out for me thus far. I'd like to keep Mario behind me here, but it's not 100% necessary, so I'll do my best to hold him off, but I'm not going to crash to do it. And as long as I can stay within 3-4 seconds of him, we should be really good on the pit stop at the end of the race. I'm already going to get rid of the tires here. You're not going to need those changed. I gotta remember how to switch tires. I think it's spacebar. I don't want to hit the wrong key. I guess we could pause the game to do that. I've done that before. All right, there's Bettenhausen, very slow on the high side. Here comes Mario. Let's focus on this. We gotta get through this battle. I'm gonna slide way up the track. Here he comes. Side by side down the front stretch. Actually, might still have a shot at this, although he's going to have the line coming into turn 1. Mario takes the lead back. Yeah, it's not the end of the world that he's gotten around me, because he has one very long pit stop in front, and I've got one very short pit stop, but I can't lose him completely. I think I got to stay at the very most 10 seconds, but it would be better to stay at 3 or 4. Of course, a yellow flag in the next 10 laps would totally reset everything. worry about that if it happens. So. Yeah, I can run wider into the corners, but it's risking the car spinning out on me. So I tend to take a quite narrow entry so that I understeer. It's really, like, at least with the setup I have, it's really not that much faster to arc the corners more. It's just a bit more risky. Mario gets caught up just a little bit there. I think that's Unser in front. Yeah, I gotta remember how to deselect the rest of the tires is the problem. So we're definitely not going to take them if we pit with 10 laps to go. Yeah, it's spacebar. Spacebar to change tire, and I have the key down to deselect stuff. We don't generally not change tires on a pit stop in IndyCar too, so it doesn't come up much. Here's Poncho on the high side. We'll get that last one in a minute. Just gonna focus on getting around Poncho here. No, the greater than less than in this game changes the tire pressure. So you can actually change your pressures, which make a big difference in the handling. So it's really cool that you have all these adjustments. There's also stagger adjustments, wing adjustments, all stuff you can do on pit stops. we haven't really touched it much, which maybe, to my detriment, maybe we could be winning a lot more races if I played with the pit stop adjustments more. But I find the driving to be, if you can actually just drive and finish a race, you tend to have a decent shot at it. So, all right, should be about 10 laps, and these guys will pit. We'll let it run on low fuel a bit, but I'll probably pit with at least 10 laps to go. And see how it plays out. I'm kind of hoping it stays green to the end now, because I think that's going to be my easiest path to victory. If it went yellow right now, we'd have to pit, because we could make it to the end from here on a full tank. But then it would be a straight up race with Mario rather than a strategy one. And I don't think he's a slouch today. It's 2.8 seconds ahead. I'd really like it to not get too much further. 3 seconds now. This last pit stop, it's going to be a really quick one. And I got to remember, is it fuel? I did this, I think I messed this up at Toronto, where it's fuel to add in the pit stop screen. Fill 2, that's what it is. It's fill 2. So we need to keep an eye on that and make sure I set it correctly this time. Do not want to mess that up. Learning from all my mistakes. A couple lap cars ahead. Might slow up Mario here for a minute. Coming down to it. 36 laps to go. I'm in second position. Everybody's got to pit one more time, but my pit stop's going to be more of a splash and go. Versus these guys are going to have to pit here really any lap now and take 25 gallons or so. So the difference there in the pit stop's going to be significant. Definitely puts it in my advantage. How big the gap will be, I don't know, but we'll have to see here. Yeah, it all matters when I pit. I'll put in a couple more gallons than laps that we have left, and that's where we'll leave it. So, but right now, aiming for around 10 laps to go will be our pit stop, our splash and dash. Car's coming alive again as the fuel burns off. 3.9 seconds off Mario. Still no pit stop. Romo in front here. Is this Fabi in front of me? Yeah, we should be able to fill basically to the number of laps that are left. Oh, there he goes. All right, Mario is in the pit lane. See if we get a lap on him here. It's still not going to be a full pit stop for him because it's 31 laps to go, so he should only have to put 31 gallons in, which should save, you know, 3-4 seconds in the pits. But it should be a fair amount ahead. Well, his pit stop's done, but it's going to be closer than I want it to be. Come on, I got to push here. This is the race. There he comes. That's Michael, maybe. Yeah, that's Michael. No, that's Mario. Okay, Mario's a lap down. He's behind me. That was very similar to last time we pit. And so, with a shorter stop, I came out in the lead, so all things the same, it should be about the same. We're going to eat up the track right now at this low fuel. Gallons of fuel to go, 28 laps to go. It's really not so far from making it. If we probably could have saved the entire race, but I don't think we'd be in the same position. I think we would have had to go too slow to make that work. Here comes Rick Mears out of the pits. All right, Mario gets around Unser Jr. He's going to play really careful here. He's got Goodyear coming out there. Bettenhausen slides in front. Now, we won't pit too early. We're not going to wait till the last second, but we have a lap on the field, so they're the ones at risk right now. If a yellow flag comes out, I'm golden. We're a whole lap ahead. I can pit. Sure, they'll unlap themselves, and I'll start at the rear, but they'd have to make up an entire lap on me. So it's in my advantage right now. I'm also on low fuel, so I'm theoretically faster than them at the moment. Use the low fuel speed to build our gap as much as possible. They'll unlap themselves when I pit, but I don't think they're going to be able to get back around to be nearly as close as they've been the past couple times. But we'll see. And from there, all things should be equal to the end. The only difference will be I'll have older tires. They should be fine. I hadn't really considered that up till now, but I think we'll be okay. It's only going to be 10 extra laps at the most on the tires, so it's really. If we had to push them like a half a stint, I'd be worried, but 5 or 6 extra laps on these tires shouldn't be an issue. All right, we're catching up to Fabi. Porsche's still running. Might it complete 500 miles? We'll have to see. 24 laps to go. Really at the bitter end now. Into the pits, making a very interesting entrance. Better maybe redo those AI lines for pitting in. They should they shouldn't sweep up like that. Yeah, they might be able to change the tires in the time to get 10 gallons, but I would rather play it safe here and or not overcomplicated. I think the tires will be more than fine. I think we're still in the green on the tires, not really overheating the right fronts. So I think we can get away with not changing them. Yeah, 4 tires and 20 gallons is roughly the amount of time. So if you ever have to put more than 20 gallons in the car, you might as well do the 4 tires. I think it would take roughly the same amount of time to do 2 tires because there's a guy on each wheel. So I think 20 gallons is about that threshold, no matter what. 11 gallons, 20 laps to go. Yeah, so we're going to need at least the 10. A couple laps here, I'll be able to set the fuel to the 10 gallons, and we'll just have to keep an eye on how many laps to go there are. Jeff Wood out of the pits there. Put it on 12. I might have to pit a lap earlier than I was thinking, but it's all right. We'll aim for 12 to go right now. Mike Groff having a great race today. I think he's going to come away with a good finish. Yeah, I'm running this game in DOSBox, and I've got a tutorial on it. I made it quite a long time ago now, but it should still be fairly relevant. I think I have a link in the description of the stream, so if you want to get this up and running. It's a long tutorial because I talk all about controllers and stuff, but depending on what you use, it might just work pretty easily. There's 17 laps to go. Emerson Fittipaldi and Ari Luyendyk having a battle here for who knows what position. Ari's looking high on MO. Sweeps down low on MO. These two. How are we going to do this? Coming up to some slower traffic as well as Ari looks super low to back out of that. Might have been able to pass him there, but that would have been risky. I do not want to take any risks right now. I do think we'll have some extra time. I'm going to use the apron here to try to scoot underneath Ari. Oh, he's right on the white line as well. Try to get right back above it. I do not like that. Come on, Ari. Oh, that made me sweat. Paul Page would be blowing a blood vessel right now. We'll just wait. We'll wait. We'll get these guys to pass. I could pit now and just kind of end this little scenario that I'm in, but still a couple laps too early. I had a good battle with Ari towards the start of the race. Our races have gone in very different directions now. All right, Hero's coming out of the pits here. It's quite a late pit stop for Hero. Here comes Ari looking down low. Oh, man. All right, we got 13 laps to go. All right, I'm going to pit. This is too scary. We're going to put 13 gallons in. There we go. Losing a ton of time here. It's going to make it tighter than I really want it to be, but passing all these guys I'm losing more time doing that, I think. So, all right, coming into the pits, final stop, fill up to 13 gallons. Try not to speed. Oh, it's very slow coming in. Just fill it up, 13 gallons. All right, there we go. Don't speed. All right, they've unlapped themselves. 12 laps to go. Somehow I turned the boost down. Hope it wasn't like that for a long time. All right, back out onto the track. Just get around the apron here. Ooh, man. It's really close with the red car there. Oh, come out right with the same guys that I was just following. Sixth gear, come down into turn 3. Scott Goodyear sweeps in front of me. All right, we're going to see the gap here in a minute. I am in the lead with just 12 laps to go in the Michigan 500. And how close is Mario behind me? He's been a little bit quicker than me on similar fuel levels today. We'll have to see, though. So come across the line there. Oh, it's looking good. 9 seconds. All right, we'll see how that gap changes here, but 9 seconds is an awful lot to make up in just 12 laps. It's looking really good for me. I know, I came out with the same cars pretty much. I don't know where Ari went. He's the one who kind of scares me. Very aggressive. 10 laps to go. Just try to set up Poncho here to pass. 8.3 seconds. Got 7/10. That's not going to be enough, but it would be a lot closer than I would like it to be. Poncho here is not slow. Got him down the low side down the front stretch. 9 laps to go. 7.6 seconds. Oh, that's too close. It's okay. I got held up that lap a little bit as well, so hopefully now that we're in clearish air, I can hold station with him. Mario is trying his best to catch up to old Ryan. Eight laps to go. It's going to be a countdown, this. 7.3, only got 3/10 that lap. That's a lot better. How are the tires looking? They are worn, but not red. Come on, car, hold together. All right, we got 3 lapped cars in front here. I think one of them is Hero. Visions of Cleveland coming back to me now. 7 laps to go, 7 seconds behind. He held exactly the same time that time. We matched lap times. Get around Tony Bettenhausen, who's been woefully off the pace all race. Yeah, I don't need to do anything too drastic here. I just can't lose a ton of time, but it's looking good. Ooh, I gained a 10th on him that lap. I might be trying to pass some of those lapped cars. Mike Groff in front of me here. Five laps to go. If I needed to, I could have forced that, but I'm not in the business of needing to right now. Right. I wasn't going to be able to make that pass. I got to set him up here. Getting kind of stuck with this guy. There he goes. He's going to fade out wide, hug the white line down the front stretch. He's going to have a bit of a slipstream, though, on this red car in front. 4 laps to go. I really don't need to do anything too crazy here. 7.1, it's okay. He's pulling in, but all right. Around this red car here. On the line, 3 laps to go. Got it down to a flat 7, but barring any major issues, that's an unsurmountable mountain he's got. All right, I think we got Scott Goodyear in front, who is not so slow. He's in 4th place. We got the red light on for fuel. Just come to line, 2 laps to go. 4 miles. Pulled out on him. He's given up the chase. All right, come through 3 and 4. One more lap. One more lap to go. White flag. Michigan 500. It's nice and easy here. No risks. 2.9 gallons of fuel. Plenty of fuel. Perfect strategy. All right. Turns 3 and 4. What a race. It was not going to be a win if Danny Sullivan had it DNF'd, but that call to go into the pits was perfect. And we won the race. Michigan 500. Michael's going to get 3rd place, but Danny is out of it, so maybe we'll be in 2nd in the championship. We certainly have to have led the most laps today. We led a lot of laps. Oh my God. What a race. Oh my gosh. So many people here too. That was this race illustrates, I think, what I find so much fun about this game, and I'm glad there's over 350 people in here who might also think the same. Man, what a race. They didn't do donuts back in these days, but all right. Stop at the line. Winner of the race. We'll get a little bit of that music going. Ryan Axelson wins Michigan 500. That's the comeback I could hope for. Ah, what a race. The crew celebrates as we enter the pits. Man. I always love this picture too. All right, let's look at what happened. Standings. Ryan Axelson wins from Mario Andretti. I led 119 laps. That's going to have to be the most, right? Mario Andretti led 42, ahead of Michael Andretti in third. Scott Goodyear gets fourth, and Rick Mears back in fifth place. Ahead of Unser Jr. gets the last point. Bobby Rahal finishes in 7th position ahead of Ari Luyendyk, who made things difficult all day. AJ Foyt from 18th on the grid finishes in 9th place, just ahead of Teo Fabi in the Porsche, actually finishing, which is great. Emerson Fittipaldi back in 11th ahead of Mike Groff, gets a 12th place finish. What a finish. Randy Lewis, that's that other red car. Couldn't remember the name of, finishes 13th ahead of Jeff Wood, right? And Pancho Carter in 15th. Raul Boisel from the front row finishes dismal 16th ahead of Hiro Matsushita. It's always fun to pass him. And Tony Bettenhausen Jr. back in 18th. We got Didier Thays. That's the last finisher, so 18 cars finish the 500 miles. Didier Thays with an engine issue. Scott Brayton with electrical issues. Eddie Cheever with a half shaft issue. Dean Hall with an engine issue. We got Roberto Guerrero with suspension problems. Danny Sullivan with a fuel pump after leading 84 laps, so we will have led the most laps in this race. Jeff Andretti with electrical failure, and we had an accident. Dominic Dobson early on in the race we saw with the accident. Just one caution flag for 3 laps, 13 lead changes. I think that was a good 500-mile race. We'll save the results there just in case something weird happens. What a race. I'll save the replay too. Why not? All right, we'll look at the championship and everything. So I get 21 points coming out of this one. So I didn't get pole position, which is a point, but maybe it's just leading laps. So I think I've got too much NASCAR in my brain about leading the most laps. Is it leading the most laps or leading a lap gets you a bonus point? I can't remember. But either way, we're back in second in the championship, 21 points behind Michael Andretti with enough rounds in the this is still open, although man, it has looked bleak at times. But second place, 7 points ahead of Danny Sullivan, who really didn't score anything today. Unser Jr.'s in 5th, quite a ways off of us now, almost 30 points. Ari Luyendyk back in 5th, and Bobby Rahal in 6th. The championship is very much alive as we head on from here. Denver. Denver is the next race, which I don't know if many of you have seen Denver before. It's not a track that was in the previous season, but it is one that they raced in 1990. I think it was the first year for it, and it's got a really nice version for Indycar too. But I hope you enjoyed this. This was such a fun race, and I did not think I was going to be able to win it, especially after the start. Basically worst to first, let's call it that. And man, it was a fun one to race. So I hope it was also a fun one to watch. I'll be back soon with some more stuff. Like I said, I might start doing more of these during the week so that I actually do them. And I appreciate folks being patient with me not doing them. I see all the comments about when are you going to do this and that, and I would like to do more of it soon. And I will definitely be back with something else soon. But have a great Thanksgiving for all those that celebrate. And if you're still up and you live in Europe, well, I guess happy Saturday to you. But or Thursday, I guess it would be. But I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Until Denver.
I'm Paul Page on YouTube, and this is GP Laps.